Come on, lay down. It's always a negotiation with you. Give me 20 good minutes, and I promise I'll be with you. Please. Ripple versus SEC. It was all staged from the start. Well, this is BitBoy's opinion. There's a new video circulating right now where he has some insider knowledge that talks about this. I also have an incredible XRP update. We've got a little bit of ISO in here. There's a little bit of Ripple's ecosystem I'm going to talk about. Also, the coming reset in the international monetary system. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be a great video. Stay with me through the whole thing. So let's listen to this, what BitBoy is saying, and I will give you my personal opinion. Oh, she's laying down. That's top negotiation right there. Did you see that? Did you see what I just did? That voodoo trick I just did? Also, we are almost to 30,000 subscribers. I can't thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you come back and watch this channel and you're not subscribed, think about subscribing. Try to help me get to that 30,000. I will really appreciate you. Let me play us.
Yeah, the lion's share, the old lion's share. Yeah, they definitely got that. Now, the thing is I've said for years, this was staged, guys. This was never real. I don't believe this was ever a real thing.
Really quickly, BitBoy was anti-XRP for years. I think like last year, he came and joined us as an XRP believer. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but it was very recent. If you are familiar with who BitBoy is, he had an incredibly big crypto empire. He got into a little bit of hot water in his personal life, and he went through some challenging times. He is rebuilding his brand. It is good to see him back on his feet. I know he was going through some really tough times, but you know, maybe he was talking about this, 3.5 years ago when it started, but he's recently become an XRP believer.
I've been told, and I now believe this 100%. I believe it 100% that 75% of everything you see is fake. And it doesn't mean that if you watch 100 court cases, that 75 of those are fake and 25 are fake. It means pretty much 75% of anything you see anywhere is fake. So 75% of someone's testimony is their perspective in the way that they saw things. That's a good example, right? Have you ever had a situation where you and someone else were good friends, but you just saw something completely differently, right? And that's kind of how things work. And with the SEC and the Ripple lawsuit, this was always designed to make XRP, basically the first regulated cryptocurrency.
Okay.
And to allow it to get into the banking system, because Bitcoin is not actually regulated in a sense. There are some rules around some things, but like Bitcoin mining has virtually no regulation, right? Bitcoin trading it kind of is different than the regular stock trading. Should have its own rules. They haven't touched any of those things yet.
Okay. If you miss what he's talking about here, he's saying that the Ripple and SEC case was designed from the start to give XRP the legal clarity it needs inside of the US, which is the biggest financial system in the world, hands down, right? We have the biggest stock market, bond market, derivative market, whatever you want to call it. And he's saying that the case was all set up to give Ripple this. Now, there are a few things here. It's difficult for me to get behind that Ripple would say, hey, let's go ahead and have you guys sue us. We're gonna play this out in the courts. We're going to have a judge that is randomly selected, have the basic, right to, basically decide on this case, right? Because they don't know who the judge is before the case gets issued, right? It goes to a judge that, says, hey, this is going to move forward or this is not going to move forward. And then they assign a random judge to the case. Now, it just so happens that we got judges that are incredibly intelligent when it comes to crypto, but I don't know if it was staged from the start. I don't think Ripple would have signed up for $150 million to hurt their business inside of the US for all of those years. I mean, think really about what this did to all of the XRP holders, right? If it was set up from the start, Ripple would have been on board with people losing billions of dollars and them not being able to move their company forward in the US for those years. I don't think Ripple would have got behind something like that. And if it comes out that they did, I think that would be pretty bad, right? Because there's a lot of people that believed in the asset class that wanted XRP to flourish in the United States, and this court case definitely held us back for those years, those 3.5 years. So, I can't fully get behind what BitBoy's saying here, but I can understand where his frustrations are. European Commission published the instant payments regulation, which will require money transfers to be processed within 10 seconds. Unsurprisingly, it will demand significant internal changes from banks and ESPs. Okay, let me pull this up. Meow. All right, requirements from banks to keep records for cross-border payments and share these with EU member state tax authorities. Man, no matter where you go, the tax authorities are there. They're like, I need my piece. A publication of regulation and entry into force, and then full implementation by December 2024. Okay, this is December 2024. So these, with any type of movement to a new type of currency or a regulation around a currency, you have to have all of the tax implications, banking implications, rules, all of this stuff needs to kind of go into effect before you can move on to a, instant payment scheme, instant payment system, right? So you have central electronic payment system processor, instant payments regulation, markets and crypto assets regulation, which is MiCA, which comes into effect this year, and payment services directive D3. So all of this is moving towards crypto being used on a massive scale in these countries. All right. I thought this was always fun, right? This is a crypto recap. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff, but a few things that stood out here. Solana ETFs are now a thing in Brazil, which is really cool. They're going to start probably there. And we can't wait for Solana ETFs to reach the United States. And you'll have the Trump campaign talking about launching a DeFi project. We'll see how that goes. Ripple, of course, was ordered to pay 125 million, which they went ahead and did. UK court freezes assets for OneCoin's crypto queen. That was actually an interesting story. This is really cool. FTX and Alameda ordered to settle 12.7 billion with creditors. There's supposed to be a lot of money being issued back to the people that got caught up in the FTX ordeal, and hopefully some of that money will re-enter the market. I can understand where some of these people might not want to put this money back into the market, but if they use, of course, their own wallets and not use exchange wallets, maybe they can have a better experience with something not failing and them losing their money for a time period. I'll let you pause this and go through the rest of this. I want to get into some other XRP stuff, but I just thought this was a cool update that I wanted to show you. I also wanted to say, guys, I am offering, because the market is down, and we are getting ready to go into an insane bull market, I am offering 30 days free in my community. I am so confident that you'll come to my community, you'll start to learn, you'll start to grow, you'll talk with the people there, you'll find it extremely interesting. We just partnered with Neo Tokyo Syndicate. What does that mean? We're going to have opportunities for seed rounds. If you're not familiar with what a seed round is, it's where VCs are investing into projects, very early. And we've had some really insane opportunities over the last 6 months. We just got access to an incredibly amount more. So come in, you can hit free Discord access, get 30 days for free. Come in, participate, and see if you like our community. I guarantee that you would do. You want to go to wap.com/cryptonaires. I hope to see you around the community. All right, this person says, I have zero doubt in XRP. Now, I'm going to do a video after this about my thoughts of what needs to happen in order for Ripple to reach a high price. I also have all of this data right here that I'm going to go through in this next video. I hope you will watch that. I think that will come out after this video. But if look for this video, because I'm going to be dropping all of my thoughts on this. But if you take a look at what Ripple's been able to build over the last 10 years, it is pretty astonishing. It is pretty incredible, right? And so on the left here, just kind of to zoom in because, maybe, it's harder to see, but here's some of the, companies, right? Western Union, yes, SBI Remit in here, Mizuho, UniCredit, right? TransferGo, some big institutions. And then you have, W3C, which is the internet, FSB. You have the ISO 20022 Registration Management Group, World Economic Forum, whatever your feelings are on that. It is a big deal. You have Santander down here, CME Group, right? Andreessen Horowitz, SBI. And then you have some institutional banks, right? HSBC, one of the biggest banks in the world, BNY Mellon, maybe your bank is on this list. UBS, American Express, it's incredible the partnerships that they've been able to make. Now, are we reaching a time period where now some of these institutions in the United States are going to feel more comfortable using XRP now that they don't have the court case hanging over themselves? I think that the price of XRP, the court case settled right when we had this kind of crash in the crypto market. August is usually bad for Bitcoin and crypto in general. It does look like quantitative easing, QE, is coming back, where the government is going to print money. It does look like rates are going to start coming down in September. These are all factors that could really kick off this next wave of the bull market. You gotta love Telegram. Okay, awesome. Let's keep it going. I need to just close Telegram when I do videos. All right, and then you also have, Ripple in here in the middle, kind of all this PolySign. Let's not talk about that. That's a whole fucking mess. Flare, Moja Loop, CBDCs, right? You have Codius. This is definitely an old photo here. All right, a map that represents how XRP could act as a world reserve currency and a bridge currency. Now, this has always been, I think, Ripple's, not saving grace, but I think this has always been XRP's real utility to any of these BRIC countries, or any of these countries that are looking to use another type of currency to do settlement in. Now, we know if you look at the global picture that Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and the countries that are joining BRICS are not wanting to use the US dollar to settle, international trade or oil or a bunch of different things, right? It's still, the US dollar is still going to reign supreme for years to come. It depends how much of the dollar is abused over the next 5 to 10 years, but it's still going to be used, right? It's still the currency of choice for most people. The reason for that is, Russia has a currency that is in current free fall. China has a currency, they have two currencies, but most of their yuan, 90% of their yuan is actually in China. So it's not really used as a global currency to settle stuff. Of course, you have South Africa, you have the Rand, you have the renminbi in India, but these are still not currencies that other countries really want to hold on to for a long period of time and do trade in. So when it comes back to something like XRP, which is a digital currency that not one country has a stranglehold or controls, there's an asset here, which is XRP, and they can use Ripple's technology, or they can build out their own technology on the XRP ledger and start to use XRP for settlement. Now, I got another tweet that I want to talk to you here in just a second, but this is really interesting, right? Because we talk about the money supply, and I know this is a little grainy, which is, I can't really fix that, but when you're talking about the money supply, the M2 money supply, there's, trillions and trillions of dollars. I think there's like $20 trillion in money supply just in the United States. Globally, I think there's like $50 trillion in currency, okay? Now, when you talk about digitizing that value, right, and bringing it on chain, right? Whether it's the XRP ledger or a different ecosystem that captures that value, that is where, if you brought on 20 trillion or $50 trillion, that would dramatically change the price of any currency. And that is what we're talking about here, right? I'm going to get into it. Let me just show you this. Here's the M2 money supply, $21 trillion. Right, is how much money is in circulation right now just in the United States. So if each bank decided to digitize this value, they decided to digitize their treasuries, they decided to digitize their, forex, right, foreign exchange transactions, they decided to digitize their stocks and bonds, you're talking about hundreds, if not trillions of dollars of value getting tokenized. And that's where we're trying to end up here. And this is why people believe that XRP could reach a very high price, because if you look at the assets in the top 10 or top 15, there's really only one that stands out that could be a bridge asset to all of these different countries and these payment system, which is XRP. And that's why you have firm believers like me that I think eventually you will see this happen. So just a lot of really interesting things here. I will include this link down in this video if you want to take a look at this, and I will retweet this on my account if you want to take a look at this. If you're not following me on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, this is a really good place to kind of find out what I'm doing, what I'm interested in, what I'm investing in, or just want to have a chat with me. Those are really good places to do that. Or of course my Discord, where I'm always am. All right, SBI and XRP Cafe are joining forces. We're proud to announce a strategic partnership with SBI DC, utilizing the XRP ledger for its services. Of course, the sun is not out today. It's kind of dark here. All commodities will be measured in XRP eventually, including AU. Eventually, CBDCs will be measured in AU and AG globally, and this will refer back to the AU XRP price. Like the LP token for trading, stability will come from the commodity mix and ease of volatility and create an arbitrage market for trading. Now, this is really interesting, right? Having XRP against everything else in the world. Oil, electricity, every currency, treasuries. I mean, there's so many things of value in the world. Gold, silver. If you could really start pairing those with XRP, start bringing that value onto the XRP ledger, this is really the holy grail of what we're trying to do with the XRP ledger. We also need developers. We need people building. I had a really, little chat in the background in messages with Crypto Erie. She's really incredible. She's been in the XRP community long before I was. And, I was just talking with her about, what she thinks that could, help increase value in the XRP ledger. And of course, smart contracts came up. I think having smart contract is very important, and hooks, right? To be able to bring people that will build on the XRP ledger. If you look at Ethereum and Solana, there is thousands of people building on those ecosystems, and that brings in liquidity, that brings the scarcity of the token right up, because all of those different systems or those projects need Ethereum or Solana, or in this case, hopefully XRP, to power those ecosystems. And that is what we're really hoping for here. And then, of course, where will we be in 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years, right? When you take a look at where we are right now, everybody is heading down the Bitcoin path. Now, when you have governments talking about strategic reserves for Bitcoin, I understand why people are paying attention to Bitcoin. In the grand scheme of things, right, when we're talking about tokenizing value and bringing it onto ledgers, I don't think there is an ecosystem better suited to do that. XRP, stellar, right?